on this great day. And I mean, if you just look at the way that the clouds have parted this morning, what a fantastic day to be celebrating an event, and certainly to be able to hold it on a day that's really special to all of us, Veterans Day. We'll start off by saying that, how many veterans do we have here today? And we thank you guys for your service and all that you have provided for us for the safety of our country. And certainly, Chris and I, our passion to be able to serve our veterans is obviously growing amongst many channels throughout the Midwest. We're only trying to do what's right, guys. We're only trying to be able to create an environment that our veterans deserve. There's so many of them out there that are hurting, and we hear all the stories all the time. We just can't build them fast enough. But today represents a benchmark in what we perceive to be our hometown, and being able to be and partner with one of the largest employers in our community that have wrapped their arms around our program and our veterans and what it is we're doing. We'll talk a little bit about that in a minute, but first, what this is a representation of our city. And I think the most important thing is that we have to show the rest of the world who we are as a community and set the example and set it forward. And I know we worked with Kyle quite a bit in the past, and now we have Mike that is here, and I know that we had a really great conversation a couple of weeks ago, and I know what Mike's passion is with our veterans. So I'm going to open it up to Mike for just a few minutes and kind of let him expound a little bit on what his thoughts are.
Thank you. How many homes in Quincy is this going to make?
So we're going to put 2 on this piece of property, okay? So it will make 7 in Quincy. But our goal is, right now we have 11 homes completed in 6 communities, and our goal in 2022, we'll talk about that, is going to be 22.
Excellent. So, Mark and Chris continue their commitment to the veterans, and especially on Veterans Day, what better time to really focus in on this and the benefit that we can provide one veteran at a time. Quincy Medical Group and their significant contribution to get this house built is also another sign of their commitment to the community beyond healthcare. And it's that kind of partnership that this community's been known for and appreciated, and it's something that I'm thankful for to be part of here as the mayor of the city. And I think you're going to see a lot more focus on veterans as we go forward still this year. And it's too bad we only have a day or 2 a year that we really focus on veterans. We wouldn't be here with all the freedoms, not just freedom of speech, but freedom of religion, our Constitution, the men and women that have served our country over the decades of service is just phenomenal. And our hats off to every veteran. I don't know where we would be if it wasn't for them fighting the good fight, fighting for our rights, and leading the example of how great America is and the freedoms and what we're able to do. So there's so many people to thank, but we've got a few veterans here today. We've got the Park Board, the QMG, and Mark and Chris, and I think we just need to give a round of applause to having this all pulled together.
Clearly, Chris and I have never been in the spotlight of taking credit for any of this, because it takes a team of people, a team of volunteers, and a passion for people to be able to share a level of commitment in order to make something like this happen. We call it organized chaos on the day of the build, but it's a lot of fun. But here again, we're standing on a piece of ground, and one of the more important things that we set out in our organization when we started and founded is that we felt like we never should buy a piece of property, that this land was earned by our veterans, and in some way, shape, or form, we'll work through the channels of our municipalities as we go through the different communities, and we'll seek out pieces of property like this. Well, in this case, the Park Board sought us out, and they came to us and they said, hey, how would you like to have a donation of a piece of property? Well, everybody knows that the Quincy Park District doesn't donate property, so we felt very blessed that this was going to happen. So we have a park board representative that is with us today that we're going to give him just a minute to talk about how this all kind of came about, what transpired in you guys' conversation that said, hey, let's just give this piece of grass to 2x4s for Hope and let's let them build some tiny homes. So, Roger.
Well, on behalf of the commissioners of the Park District, I'm also glad to be here today. So the Park District owns over 1,000 acres of property in Quincy to serve all the residents in our area. And one of the things we try to do is look and see how efficient we use that and how well those pieces of property are being put to good use. So former commissioners, current commissioners, and the staff with the Park District that's here today, thoughts were on these pieces of property, what to do with them, and your name came up, and so we are very glad to be able to donate just a very small portion to this great project you're doing.
Thank you so much. Yeah, we couldn't do it without everybody. Like I said, it's a team effort. And when we talk about a team effort, you know, there's something that really parallels with us and QMG. The backbone of our organization is all about the signing of the 2x4s. It's the community coming together to sign these 2x4s to give the messages of hope and inspiration and healing that surrounds our veterans. And I know Kenny can attest to that because he lives in one of the tiny homes over on 6th Street that has these 2x4s signed by our community, wrapped around himself every single day with these messages of healing. And what a great partnership to have QMG with another entity that wraps their services and their arms around healing around the community. And we have Carol Brockmiller here that is going to give a few words on what this means for QMG to be able to help 2x4s for Hope, help our veterans, and improve the life of our veterans in our community. Carol?
If I'm honest, I'm a little overwhelmed right now because this is a pretty special day. And Quincy Medical Group is proud to be a part of it, not for all the reasons that you might think. First, when Mayor was talking about healthcare and housing, they go hand in hand, right? Affordable, stable housing is so critical for health and care that matters to us. As we have signed 2x4s at QMG through our employees for some time now, if I glance out my window and just see somebody bent over signing one of those and all of the 2x4s are lined up and it's beautiful and sunny like today and the employees are doing that. And that's been wonderful. But to build a house, I mean, we are about to show up and show out because that is exactly who we are. And I love that part about this. For those of you who don't know, Chris is a former co-worker of mine. She worked at QMG for, don't cry, don't you dare, 15 years. She worked with QMG, and so today is the first time we've seen one another in some time. And it's just, it's very special to me for a lot of reasons. It will be incredibly special that day and an honor to build a house for someone. I suspect that it will be the start of a great relationship. I had no idea that the Park District had donated the land, so that is especially cool. Thank you. And I didn't know that you didn't buy land. That is, it really is an unbelievable venture that they've launched on. When Chris left Quincy Medical Group and was telling me what she was going to do, I thought maybe she had lost her mind just a little bit. Couldn't imagine that you followed God's calling. I mean, I remember you telling me that, and 11 houses later, which is impressive, and doubling that by 2022 is going to be really impressive. We are thrilled to be a part of it, and there is so many people at Quincy Medical Group who will volunteer for this and happily do so. We've been, I don't know, just on a journey to make sure that we do right by the communities we serve for some time. I'm born and raised in Quincy. I know this neighborhood and this area, and to know that somebody will have a house here, two somebodies will have a house here, is pretty special. I would also share that no less than, I can think of a dozen of our physicians who are veterans. So I feel like I'm representing them here today as well, and certainly many of our employees. So to Mayor Trope's point about, you know, the importance of veterans and where we are today, and it's an honor to be standing here next to you, not just as a veteran, but as a tiny house owner. I think that's pretty cool. So, you know, a partnership with 2x4s was probably inevitable for all the right reasons, and so that brings us to today. And I'm ready to shovel some dirt.